being extra, real extra with how we doing pumping ourselves up, or look at what I'm doing, man. I'm doing this. I'm sitting on this. I'm doing that, man. I'm doing y'all. Y'all need to get like me, nigga. You know, we all like that. We have to understand. We have to fully understand that, like I just said earlier, I'm gonna repeat it again. We cannot control the reactions, the feelings of other people around us. They may take that the wrong way. They may take that as if you stunting on them or shitting on them or putting them down, or that you're trying to highlight what they don't have by highlighting what you do have. Look, it's some people that you can do it the right way to humble, and they'll still take it the wrong way. So when you're not doing it that way, you're guaranteeing that you're going to have some negative feedback and reaction. And it's also, we have to be mindful of our fellow man. We have to be mindful of the people around us, of our surroundings.
All 3 eyes, I keep my eyes open. If you got, stay strapped before you die smoking. All 3 eyes, I keep my eyes open. Ain't no competition, I'm God's chosen. All 3 eyes, I keep my eyes open. If you got, stay strapped before you die smoking. All 3 eyes, I keep my eyes open. Ain't no competition, I'm God's chosen. I can't hide my face from my people in the revolution. I gotta get out, help them get the retribution. Give my contribution, keep my heart daily. And even if they don't pay me, I do it crazy for free. Be what we gotta be, not the army, but it's you and me. Black Panther, Black Power, we ride it. Understand, gotta help out or reside it. Gotta build in the home, build our domes, build with the knowledge. Fuck college, yeah, fuck that bullshit. Let's get rich, understand, gotta live it. And got 3 eyes, I keep my eyes open. If you got, stay strapped before you die smoking. All 3 eyes, I keep my eyes open. Ain't no competition, I'm God's chosen. All 3 eyes, I keep my eyes open. If you got, stay strapped before you die smoking. All 3 eyes, I keep my eyes open. Ain't no competition, I'm God's chosen. Gotta stay strapped.
Peace, love, life, and balance. Welcome to Universoulifebalance, Universoul. You've just seen a clip from the legendary Tupac Shakur as he celebrated his 50th birthday. From the legendary album, the legendary song, To Live and Die in LA. And we coming to you from LA right now. Universoulifebalance. This is your host, Chief Jamal Cannon, coming to you, talking about that. This is a particular line I want to talk about on that song. A particular line where he's talking about man got smoked by a fiend, trying to floss on him, blind to a broken man's dreams. A hard lesson. So he's describing a man that had seen a dope fiend, a man of lesser status than him, with problems, and tried to floss on him. Basically trying to be a show-off or trying to be boastful. And what happened was he got killed for that. That's what Pop was talking about a lot. And that's a comment. Those of us who grew up in the inner city, I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Chicago area, also in Jersey, part of my life. But those who grew up in any urban area understand that that's a common thing. That a lot of murders and robberies that happen are simply because the person that was doing the murdering or the robbing was getting back or getting revenge on a person that they felt had, rubbed them the wrong way or was a show off or flossed on them. As Pop was putting it, we say floss. And that's not just a thing that happens with material things. It's a scripture actually about this. I'm gonna bring out Jeremiah 9. It's in Jeremiah chapter 9. I'm going off the top here. Don't quote me verbatim, but it talks about let not the mighty man boast in his might, or let not the wise man boast in his wisdom. Let not the mighty man boast in his might, let not the rich man boast in his riches. Because when we do that, when we're boastful, when we're showing off, when we're bragging or flossing, we're being blind to the other person's situation. We don't know that. You don't know that what you're doing might be the one thing that pushes that person over the edge, is not to harm you, but harm another person. And you're also sowing bad karma for yourself. You're also putting yourself in a situation where you are putting out the energy that you're better than someone simply because of a possession or something you learned or gained. When none of those things make you better than any individual. So you are putting out bad energy for yourself. You are putting out the energy that you simply because of this accomplishment, this materialistic thing that you have, this knowledge that you learn, and the knowledge is a major thing. We have in this information era where people can just Google things and look things up, and I did another video about Googling not being real research. Make sure you check that out. People a lot of times believe that they find out information when there's nothing new under the sun, but they believe that they find out information or they get on some type of movement and they all of a sudden believe now that this is the way and this is my way, and it's an extreme society. That's the whole purpose of this channel, was to help balance out the extremes. So extremes are pushed at an all-time height right now, where people get these knowledge, doctrine, new religious code, whatever they learn new, they learn something new, and they feel that because they know this now, that they're more empowered and better than other people. Instead of actually, a lot of them don't even break it down to see if it's true, but instead of, let's say if it is true, instead of actually taking that information and using it to bless other people, they take that information and use it as a way to stand over other people, to stand on the mountaintop and scream, hey, I know this and you don't. Being blind to a broken man's dreams. Or you have that friend or that person that you know, or especially happens a lot of times in relationships, being blind to a broken man's dreams. Where, let's say you and your partner are both single, whether you male or female, y'all both single. One of y'all gets into a relationship and you're very happy. You know, the other person is having bad luck, but you're having good luck. So you're around that person, you're putting up pictures, you're being very extra to let that person know, hey, look what I got. When that person's struggling, even though you was just single like them, you would tell them, well, I did this to get this, and you don't do it in a way to help. You do it in a way to say, well, you need to get on your game, or get on this or get on that, and you can get like me. It's a way and a tone that we can do it to where we not understand it, because people don't always let you know how deep they hurting or how deep their situation is. I've seen, speaking of the situation Pac talk about, I've seen people in the hood floss on somebody, pull up, get a new whip, talk about how they doing it, throw chains. Now they not knowing, they're blind. They not knowing there's a person that they flossing on. They think that this person is like, an associate or somebody they know, somebody cool in the hood to floss on. They don't know that this person is facing eviction. This person is dealing with addiction. This person is dealing with the fact that they lost their job, whatever it may be. And that same person that they flossed on is the one that sets up the hit on them, the one that sets up the robbery, sets up the shooting, and in some cases, unfortunately, sets up their death or demise. You have to be humble at all times. You have to be cognizant that those you deal around that are less fortunate than you, or they don't have attained what you have, that you have to understand the depths of that. They may not understand you being boastful. They may take that as that you're putting them down, and you may not be trying to do that. Sometimes we're boastful just because we're happy, or just because, we want to brag, we want the world to know. It don't be malicious, but you have to be cognizant of being blind to a broken man's dream. You have to be cognizant of being blind to the issues and the needs and the wants of those around you. If you know somebody's going for a particular goal or a destination or a dream, and you obtained it, or they want to know something and you know it, and you come to them to the point where you're boasting about it instead of showing them how to get it, or just being quiet about it. How about being quiet about it, not talking about it? How about you just enjoying it for you, whatever? But you bring it to them in the wrong type of energy or feel or spirit, then you can bring damnation upon yourself. Because we're not supposed to look down our fellow man because of what we got, because anything that we can obtain in this earth can be taken away. Everything in the earth is temporal. Only thing that's really is really eternal is our spirits, is our souls. That's it. Everything else that we can gain, even the knowledge, a lot of knowledge you're going to gain, you're going to forget. Or it won't be useful to you in the next realm when you transcend. So everything here is temporal, okay? You know, you don't get to pick and choose how somebody can feel about what you're doing or saying. So you want to move cautiously. You want to move as if that you understand that, hey, me bragging about this new car or getting this money, I may offend somebody. It's a way you can do it. It's called they call it a humble brag. There's ways you can brag or let people know you're doing well without being outlandish about it. There's ways. You don't have to be outlandish. And if you want to have to be outlandish, hey, listen, we don't police people here. You know, if you want to be a flosser, you want to flaunt in front of people and boast and brag and do all that stuff, fine, go ahead. But understand the energy you're putting out and understand you may be the one on the other side of that coin one day. You may be the one getting stunned on a floss stone. Because we're human. We all have the desire to want to, you know, show everybody that we're the best or that we obtained or that we have or that we made it. But we can do that, but we can have to do it in a way that's not disrespectful. Sometimes, a lot of times when you guys floss or brag or when we done it, and I've done it. Everything I talk about on this channel, I don't want to think I'm not above anyone. I've been guilty of mostly everything, if not everything that we bring up. So that's why I'm able to give perspective. We have to understand that when we come in that way, we're being extra, real extra with how we doing pumping ourselves up, or look at what I'm doing, man. I'm doing this, I'm sitting on this, I'm doing that. Man, I'm doing y'all need to get like me. Nigga, you know. We all like that. We have to understand. We have to fully understand that, like I just said earlier, I'm gonna repeat it again. We cannot control the reactions, the feelings of other people around us. They may take that the wrong way. They may take that as if you stunting on them or shitting on them or putting them down, or that you're trying to highlight what they don't have by highlighting what you do have. Look, it's some people that you can do it the right way to humble, and they'll still take it the wrong way. So when you're not doing it that way, you're guaranteeing that you're gonna have some negative feedback and reaction. And it's also, we have to be mindful of our fellow man. We have to be mindful of the people around us, of our surroundings. We are prisoners, and we are occupants, and we are beneficiaries of the atmosphere we create. So if we giving off energy that we're above our atmosphere, then that speaks negatively back on us, because that means that even though we elevate amongst these people, we're still among them for some reason. We're still among them. That's what a lot of y'all don't realize when y'all talking about how y'all elevating. If you're still among those you feel are losers, then there's a good chance that there's something deep inside you or going that you're not paying attention to, for you're a loser as well. It's not always about money or status or anything like that. It could be in another area. So, don't be blind to a broken man's dreams. Don't floss on them and get popped. Don't be blind to a broken woman's dream, whatever it may be, your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, whatever it may be. Always be cognizant and understanding that those less fortunate than you, or those that have not attained what you're talking about, that they may not be in a space where they can accept seeing it thrown into their face. You know, they can. It's one thing to see a star celebrity that they don't know, but when it's somebody they know or that's close to them, or they're putting it right in their physical face, that's a major big difference. So we're gonna sign out. Peace, love, life, balance.